Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Disneyland Resort Relaxation Tour. My name is Sean, and I'll be your Disney plaid for this guided tour of the Magic Kingdom today. Now, in case you've never joined us on this particular tour before, let me be the first to welcome you on what we hope will be an entertaining, insightful, and, most importantly, relaxing tour of the Disneyland park. The purpose of this tour is to explore the park at a slower pace, giving you ample opportunities to take in the natural magic and ambience of the park while learning its secrets. I will be showing you around the various landmarks and historical points of the park, sharing facts and trivia, large and small. And just in case the crowds get too noisy, you've all been given earbuds to both muffle the Disney hustle and bustle, as well as enhance my Gaston-like dulcet tones. Just a little joke, folks. Now, if everyone is ready, let us begin the tour in, where else? Main Street, USA. Now, as some of you probably know, the Magic Kingdom, that is, the Disneyland here in sunny California, was Walt's first park, and sadly, the only one he ever set foot in while it was completed. To your left and in front of us here is City Hall. Here you can find all sorts of information, and even receive special gifts on your most special days. Above City Hall is an apartment Walt had made for when he wanted to stay on the premises. You'll notice the lit lamp glowing in the window. He would keep that on when he was at home, to let everyone know the boss was watching them. Rumor has it, a cleaning lady tried to turn it off once. It turned itself back on, and a voice whispered, "I'm still here." It stays on now, in honor of him. When you first walked in, you passed under the Disneyland Railroad, formerly known as the Santa Fe and Disneyland Railroad. Typically, 3 trains run at one time, with up to 4 on busier days, with stops at New Orleans Square Station, Mickey's Toontown Depot, Tomorrowland Station, and, of course, right back here on Main Street. If you decide later you need to rest your feet for a while, you can enjoy the 18-minute full stretch of track. And don't forget to ask to sit up front by the conductor. If you're lucky and arrive very early, you may even get a chance to ride in the Lily Bell, a luxurious train car named for Walt's wife. Now, as we begin to walk past the train station, notice the flagpole to our left. It is the only real flag on Main Street. The others all have slight imperfections, classifying them as pennants, and thus not requiring them to be lowered at night. This main flag, however, is lowered every evening by a veteran of the day. Now, in front of us is an opera house with a show I'm sure you're all familiar with. Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. Fun fact, this building used to house the park's lumber mill until 1961. Like several great attractions at the park, Great Moments was originally a pavilion at the 1964 New York World's Fair, before being relocated to the park. Originally focusing solely on Mr. Lincoln, his state, and with an audio animatronic giving a long speech about our country, the show changed several times, at one time instead being a showcase of Walt Disney himself. The ride has gone through several iterations before its current form, which focuses again on Mr. Lincoln. The Opera House also houses the Disney Gallery, showing many relics and historical archives of Walt, including the legendary bench he sat on when he first thought up what would become Disneyland. It also displays a very large model of the original idea for Disneyland. It's a personal favorite spot of mine. As we continue along the street, following it around, on your right, folks, mind the horse and carriage. You may want to hop a ride on that later, but maybe not. The asphalt beneath your feet is a special blend for Disneyland, being slightly impact absorbent and thus easier on your feet. Very good. Now, as we continue along, you'll see the beginnings of the various shops and smaller attractions that line Main Street proper. And before I forget, you may also notice two cannons flanking the side of the square. These are very real. Well, they were. They are 19th century French army cannons, never fired and now filled with concrete. If you now raise your eyes to the upper floors of these buildings, you'll notice many of them display names of various fictional companies. These are people honored by Disneyland for long years of creative devotion, or for more sentimental reasons. That one there advertising a general contractor, that's Elias Disney, Walt's own father. Now, many of these shops these days are simply facades or house merchandise you can also find elsewhere in the park. But did you know that things used to be more diverse? To your right, a thin, tightly packed building used to home a lingerie store called the Wizard of Bras. No, that's not a joke, that was real. And across the street, there used to be a wooden Indian chief, the classic landmark denoting a real tobacco shop. The shop, of course, is long gone, but the chief is safe elsewhere in the park. Further along, we'll be passing by the bakery and candy shop. Take a deep breath now. Do you smell that? Sweets, vanilla, cinnamon? No, they're not venting the ovens into the street. Those are smellitzers, devices that pump smells to areas of the park that help you immerse yourself in the magic and scenery. Within the Candy Palace is the Penny Arcade. You won't find Pac-Man or Galaga at this arcade, though. These are games from Walt's youth. Mutoscopes and kaloscopes let you watch bits of the oldest moving pictures, while fortune teller Esmeralda will dispense you your fate for the day. Oh, and you can't forget the latest story of Disney magic. Recently, the Disney Cinema, showing old runs of Disney cartoons like Steamboat Willie, was removed and turned into a store. Outcry from fans, however, has seen the merch store removed, with the cinema returning. A wise choice, in my humble opinion. Did you know Steamboat Willie was the first fully sound-synced cartoon? From the music, the sound effects, and the voice acting, all of it had to be recorded at the same time. And if anyone messed up, it was back to the top. We have come to the end of Main Street, and thus the end of the current stretch of the tour. Now, this is the part where I leave you for just a little while to explore as you see fit. Feel free to enjoy any of the attractions we saw, and a few we may have missed. If you hear someone singing, it might be the Dapper Dans, Main Street's own comedic barbershop quartet. You may want to hop onto that carriage from earlier, or perhaps the omnibus. Before I let you wander, look ahead, just there in the distance. Looming ahead is Sleeping Beauty Castle, and framed in the center is that wonderful statue. A man and his mouse, crafted from bronze, the partners statue, smack center in the middle of the hub. Now when you're ready, folks, I'll meet you there, where Walt, Mickey, and I will be ready to take you on the next leg of our tour. Enjoy, folks, and goodbye till later. Bye-bye. See you in a bit.